I equipped in the supernatural.
Hey everybody, welcome to Jennifer Yvez's page. My name is Tommy John. I am Jennifer's interns. I'm just going to go ahead and wait for a few people to hop on. I definitely want just to encourage you guys, if you guys are just jumping on right now, do me a favor, just go ahead and comment in the comment sections. Let me know where you guys are watching from. And if you are on YouTube, God bless you. Let me know where you guys are watching from as well. I definitely have a special guest on with me today. I'm so excited because tomorrow is July 11th. If you guys don't know what that day is, it's Excellence in the Supernatural Mentorship Group. That's the day it starts tomorrow. So I'm on here to encourage you guys. If you guys are on the fence of joining, this is your chance to get in soon and quick because it starts tomorrow. Jennifer is coming in hot with the teachings. I'm so excited about it. But yeah, so if you guys are considering it and you guys are contemplating if I should do it, I just want to encourage you guys. This is a chance to do it. But I definitely have a guest on with me just to explain her experience of being in the Excellence in the Supernatural Mentorship Group. But there's information on the description and there's information on the screen as well on where to go as far as going to jenniferyves.com. On her website, you can find all the information, what's entailed of the whole the group, what's it all about. But let's go ahead and get started. So I want to have my guest introduce herself. Let the people know where you're watching from.
Hey, I'm Aeolian and I am from South Carolina.
Nice. I love it. South Carolina. I'm over here in California, so there is definitely a time difference. But you know what I love about the mentorship is that it's not just United States based. It's like worldwide. The mentorship is worldwide. And I love that because it's such a diversity of people, backgrounds, everything. It's amazing. Okay, so I want to ask you a few questions if I can. So do me a favor. How did you hear, and actually explain to the people, how did you hear about Jennifer and the Excellence of the Supernatural Mentorship Group?
Well, I was really seeking out more information on how to grow, not just only in my giftings, but how to grow just as a child of God, period. I was really hungry and thirsty for knowledge, like terribly hungry. And so I noticed that as I started growing, I didn't have a lot of people around me that were prophetic and were openly sharing about their experiences and how they were growing in their giftings. And so I started just Googling and looking at different YouTube videos. And that's how I came across Jennifer one day. I was looking at YouTube videos and one of her videos popped up. And I was like, wow, she is pretty awesome. And she's explaining things so simply. And she's just making it relatable. So I could relate to everything she was saying. And it was like I was being drawn in to what she was teaching. I was definitely being fed. My soul and my spirit was being fed, and I just wanted more. And so I didn't know it at the time, but after I left YouTube, I started following her like on all her social media outlets. So you can consider that good stalking, right?
Yeah.
That would be good stalking. So I followed her on Facebook, followed her on Instagram, found her on Twitter, and then Clubhouse started up, and so I followed her on Clubhouse. So after that, I found out she had a mentorship group, and I was like, wow, I would love to be able to learn more about the prophetic. And so I thought about it and prayed about it and just, continuously just asked God, is this where you want me to be? Because at the time I was in such a transition with my spiritual growth, and my family was in a whole lot of transition. And so I was like, is this what you have for me? And so I just felt, the nudge to just go ahead and do it and just to learn and just glean from her at the time. And that's how I ended up joining the mentorship group. And it's been
How many years have you been a part of it?
Well, this is going to be my second year. Can you believe it?
Really?
Yeah, it feels like I was in there forever, right?
I thought you were gonna say you've been in there for about 5 years.
No.
Oh,
No, this
okay.
is my second year because what happened, I
This is
started
amazing.
following her
Okay.
from Seers and Prophets when she did the Seers and Prophets. Was it like a seminar?
Oh, during the whole COVID.
Yeah,
Okay, got you.
COVID. So, and then she did like a deliverance. One of them was like a deliverance thing that she did with John Eckhart. You remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
Did with John Eckhart. And so I was like John in classes, like just whatever she was putting out there, I was joining it and being a part of it. So and then she did the Awaken, the Dreamscape, and I joined that one. Then I was like, okay, I gotta go ahead and just jump into the mentorship. So that's when everything happened and I joined in.
So is this going to be you're going into your third year or you're going into your second?
I'm going into my second year.
Oh, wow. And that's what I keep telling people, because I keep interviewing people and they're only been in it for a year, but it seems like they've been just in that year. They just seem so well seasoned just being in there. I'm sure they have their own personal growth outside of the group,
right.
But just being in the group, like you cannot but grow. You cannot but grow in the mentorship.
Right.
You mentioned something earlier in regards to like prophetic ministry or just the prophetic in general, just where you're from. I don't know if that's like if it wasn't being taught or nothing, because many people deal with that in regards to not having a space to actually find a church that flows like that.
Right.
And what I love about Jennifer is that she's very pro pastor. Obviously, she's a pastor of herself in her own church, but she is dedicated in equipping people, not taking people out of their church. That's not what this is. The mentorship is to pull anybody out of their church, but it's it's really to equip the individuals that are in there to really bring an addition to their own church home. So I love that about her. And for those ones who are watching on the live or on the replay, and you're considering to, like, maybe I don't have my current church is not flowing in the prophetic, or maybe I don't have this in my local hometown. This mentorship is so perfect for that, because, and again too, that's how sort of my story began too. Like I joined this mentorship 4 years ago. I'm going to my 4th year, but I joined through a dream. The Lord gave me a dream, and that's what led me into actually signing up and actually stepping into that. So the Lord will begin to speak, and especially when and again too, like you said, He nudged you.
Yeah.
He nudged me through a dream, right? He nudged me through a dream, like, and He gave me the okay to do it. And this is something I talk about too, because we're dealing with like the finances. Of course, there's payment plans and all that stuff that Jennifer has for the course. And in that moment when I was going through, had the dream, I was at her conference too. That kind of sealed the deal. I believe it was an Inner Healing and Deliverance conference. And I didn't know that she had the mentorship until during the conference. She had a slide on the screen, and I'm like, but it related because that institute was in March, and I had the dream in February 25th, a week before going to the conference. So, which actually, I was contemplating, because I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to have the finances for this to keep me in it, whatever. But I had to take the risk and believe that God was going to be the provider who He says He is, and He supplied me for 4 years now. And to be honest, majority of my years, people sowed into my lives to where they paid it all off for me. So and that's how good God is. Like, if this is something on your heart that you want, ask the Lord to provide for the needs, for the funds, for the need of really pouring into, because I just didn't come into this investing in myself. I invest in myself, yes, but it really benefited everybody that was attached to me.
Oh, that's so good.
It was benefited everybody that was attached to me, my church, my church family, my own personal family, coworkers, all that stuff. So, Alien, Chikale, let's talk about small groups.
Yeah.
For those ones who are joining, and this is your first year, maybe you guys never heard that term, small groups. What is that about? What we do is actually Jennifer has interns, and she just added additional interns from last year into this year. So it's so amazing what God is doing in there. But the interns host small groups, and Jennifer gives a live teaching. So after the live teachings, the interns will connect, and then we'll pretty much gather individuals throughout the group, and we'll all meet up and just break down what we've learned. So it's
Yeah.
like a small group Bible study.
Yeah.
So can you give us a little insight what your experience was like in joining those?
Listen, I love small groups. This is why I love small groups, because even though we're all on the lives together, when she's teaching, small groups really give you the opportunity to like really hone in on what you learned. And so as the interns were teaching and asking different questions about the topic that was discussed, it was like a seal on what you were already taught by Jennifer. And so I also loved about the small groups is you had the opportunity to kind of listen in on what someone else learned. So it was like a ripple effect. So we all learned a certain thing, but then we came together and it's like you learned more because somebody else picked up something different from her teaching. So it was like, whoa, that's good too. And
Yeah.
so it added another layer of growth to what she was already teaching to us during the lives.
It's so good because and again to like you talk how you mentioned like everyone brought in something to the table, and that's just my heart, and I know that's the heart of Jennifer. It's just giving everybody a space, pretty much a seat to come to the table and actually give their voice, give their opinion. I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
And that's what that kind of built, those small groups built, was community,
Mhm.
connections with the people. And because there's a lot of people that when I hosted a small group, like there was other people that I never really came in contact with besides just commenting on their post or whatever they
Right.
did in it. But it brought closeness. Now I have a face to, other than just seeing someone's picture, I can actually see and have a communication and talk to them. So that was really awesome. That's what I loved about the small groups. And another thing for those ones who are either joining, this is your first year, and if you're watching right now, this is your first year, type in "this is my first year," or let me know if you've already been in the group. Let me know how many years you've been on there, or actually comment too if you're considering joining too as well, or if there's any questions you may have concerning the mentorship group. But what I loved about just the mentorship is that Jennifer, there's what I love about the mentorship is when Jennifer gives us an opportunity to minister.
Yeah.
Like she gives us a place to minister and to flesh things out, the trial and error. We grow, all that stuff, right? And
And
and not only that, but she has this thing called the feedback wheel, and where she actually puts a post out there, who wants to join me on a live and give your feedback of that current topic she's teaching about.
yeah.
And then she gives you space to actually come up to the platform, and I love her heart for that.
Yeah.
Um, and it's such an amazing thing that the people just step out. So if you guys are concerned joining this year, take those
Yes.
opportunities and get stretched. That's what that thing is. You get stretched in this place,
Yeah.
and stretching is good. It may feel uncomfortable, but stretching is knowing that you're growing. So
Yeah.
Aeolian, okay, let me ask you another question. So how has the mentorship navigated your overall journey in ministry?
Well, the thing is, during COVID, I don't know how pivotal COVID was for certain believers as far as growth was concerned, but for me, I really experienced a lot of growth during COVID. Kind of had the opportunity to like come being shut in gave me the opportunity to really look around me, look inside of me, and really evaluate where I needed to come up higher. But during that process of evaluating myself, like I really started growing. And so being a part of the mentorship, it was new to me for Jennifer to want to hear what our opinion was about something or want to include us in ministry. And it was also new to me that she has a way of explaining something to you when you're wrong, that you're like, oh, I get it, instead of like, ouch, that hurt. Because
Yeah.
I mean, when she corrects you, it's correction that doesn't sting. You know, it's correction as in guiding, like guiding you in a different direction from what you were, thinking about something before. And so when I first went into the mentorship, I was asking questions left and right, and I was constantly in there that first year, just asking question after question after question, because I was just hungry for more information and hungry to know more about the prophetic and about ministry, as far as how can I be an effective Christian aside from just all the titles, that sometimes we can give ourselves so many titles. But I just wanted to know, how can I be an effective Christian for God? And Jennifer's heart is growing people up, raising people up, and sending them out into to do what God has called them to do. And so that's a beautiful side of her. You can see her heart on every live, that she really honestly and truly wants you to grow as a person. Yeah.
I love how you, and again too, like asking the questions, because Jennifer will give you, she's just straight lace. She
Yes.
just gives it to you. But yeah, again too, what I love about it too, she'll give you the knife, but it's laced with honey. It
Is.
doesn't sting. It's sweet.
It's
It'll cut you, but it's laced with honey. It was like, I love you, so you don't feel no kind of like, how some people
yes.
get, but it's a great thing, because I love your heart in regards to asking questions. Reason why me personally, why I really encourage people to ask the questions, because I know what it's like not to ask the questions.
Right.
And in my elementary school, high school, I didn't raise my hand to ask questions, so I failed.
Yeah.
So when you ask the questions, you get answers, and it's like, don't feel like I know this may seem silly. It might seem silly, but and again too, because we may think like, well, other people might think I'm goofy for even asking this question. They think I should automatically know it. Well, sometimes we don't know certain things, and we need information. So go in there with the pure heart, and you just want to get it. Just get everything you can. Ask the questions, the hard questions, because you will definitely get an answer from Jennifer, and everybody else has personal experiences too.
Right.
And again, too, you can weed out what you want to receive and what you don't want to receive too as well. So there's that too as well.
Yeah. And bearing the parts of us that we may have not, revealed before, those, little intimate parts that we hadn't revealed to anyone before, because the mentorship, they've created such a safe space for us to do. If there comes a time where you have to reveal like an intimate part of yourself, that's a safe space, and no one gets judged for what they're going through. No one gets judged for how they're thinking. It's always unconditional love shown towards you, and guidance and encouragement. Oh my gosh, so much encouragement from the group and from Jennifer herself. So
yeah, that's definitely key. And hopefully the individuals that are watching the live as well, is that this community is a safe community. What's said in the group, personal, people ask personal things. It doesn't get taken out.
Right.
Everything's just left in there. And that's what I love about the community. You just know that it's safe, it's welcoming. Again, you're not judged. Everyone is embracing you, championing you on. And that's what I love about the group. Everybody's championing everyone on. We're all running the same race. We're all running in one direction. And that's just going into a place of growth, self-development, all that other stuff, discipleship even, all that stuff, and just getting equipped and pretty much in every area of our lives and stuff like that. That's what I love. That's what I love about the group.
Yes.
Okay, Aeolian. Let me ask you another thing. What's your expectations for this new season of Excellence in the Supernatural?
Oh my gosh.
Like, do you have any expectations?
I do. Tommy, this may seem simple, but I'm really expecting to build relationships, with people. I'm expecting God to continue to connect me with people that I can grow with.
So let me ask you a question. So is there anything that you wish you could have done this past year that you're going to take into next year? Was that it? Like building new connections? Do you feel like you built connections this past year
Yeah, they just came out of, I'm not going to say out of nowhere, because I definitely know it was all God that connected me to the people that I'm connected with now. And it's just beautiful. You know, you have the opportunity to know. I'm in South Carolina. I've connected with people in um in Africa, in Australia, in California, in Ohio, in Maryland, and it's just been a beauty, just all over the globe. God has really connected me. I'll say divinely connected me to some really cool people.
Yeah. And you know what's so and this is not to diss my actual real friends in town. I'm not trying to diss nobody in my own town, that are
Right,
my friends, but it
right.
seemed like it's weird how you come into a community of mentorship and it's like it seems like I've known you forever.
Yeah, yeah,
Like you cannot put it's like you're either related. It's like, man, we feel like we're related, or I just know
yes.
you. You're comfortable. I feel safe with people that I've met.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's amazing. I love that because not only does Jennifer obviously she has her own church and she has conferences and stuff like that, but she does travel to different churches. She
Yeah.
hosts conferences and then she hosts small gatherings for specifically for people within the mentorship
Mhm.
at these conferences, and that's what I love because in those moments, there's actually one coming up out of her church in 2 weeks, the Holy Spirit Conference. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah.
And then she got the Healing and Miracles conference coming up in October. Like you just meet so many kind of people, and it
Mhm.
really is a connection, just a divine connection that God
Mhm.
just connects people, and they just gather together. I love it, especially when they're all in the same. They're just all in the same mind and one accord, and it's just like so many things that happen out of that. So
Yes.
for those ones that are watching, I just want to give you guys an overall of what topics we're going to be learning this year. I'm so excited.
Mhm. Gonna be
Um,
good.
okay, yeah. So there's a here. I'm just gonna go ahead and list them. So we have supernatural faith, we have supernatural creativity. If you guys didn't know, there's a whole lot of individuals in the group already that are so creative. We're all
Yeah.
creative because we all have a creator who created us. So that makes me know that I'm very creative. You guys are very creative. So she's gonna be talking about supernatural creativity, supernatural finances,
Mhm.
higher level intercession, supernatural ministry. I really want to weigh on that part, supernatural ministry, because
Yeah.
there and again too, if for the ones that have already been in it, last year Jennifer taught on supernatural leaders. So
Mhm.
these are things that are kind of tying into what she's going to be bringing in this year. I really
Yeah.
feel like that's her heart in supernatural ministry because it is something she flows in as being a prophet.
Yeah.
She equips the saints for the work of ministry, and this is the questions that we ask. It's all part of the equipping, getting us to the place of being
Yeah.
mature and being sent out. So that's her heart, is getting people healthy and giving them biblical understanding of scripture and
Mhm.
beginning them to pretty much put them in their rightful place where they belong and their identity and sending them out. And what I loved about the mentorship in general is that so many people really were increased of their influence, even in their home church. They were
Yes.
asked to go up on the platform and start doing ministry.
Mhm.
Just so many ministry connections came out of so many individuals that
Yeah.
they had the opportunity to step into.
That was
It's
beautiful.
like when you step into something that's God divine, God appointed, like there's so many doors of opportunity that opens up for an individual. And it's just amazing, just a connection, especially when you're in a God thing. This mentorship is a God thing that,
Yeah.
especially for me in my life, it was a God thing because I was like you, Aileen, where I didn't know, I struggled with finding a prophetic community,
Yes.
prophetic people to
Mhm.
where I did know a few of them, but again too we were just barely learning ourselves. So
Right.
now the Lord had to really take me on a journey and stepping out and going places on my own, and really just, and that was hard for me because I need people to be alongside of me to go on journeys. But
Yeah.
God's like, no, not this time. I'm taking you on your own. There's some things you got to learn. But to coming into the excellence in supernatural mentorship, I had to relearn some things
Yeah.
because before 2020, oh man, I was a hot mess. Like my way of operating was not right, you know, like
Right.
I wouldn't say like it was just like bad, but it was just how I viewed God, the
Yeah.
theology of it all. That had to get
Yeah.
renewed. My mind had to get renewed. I had to be delivered in certain areas where I didn't even want to go into the whole political thing, but anyways, but yeah, the Lord had to do some inner work, and I had to like, give him that space to do so. But being in this mentorship brought me to a place of healthiness, of wholeness, and joining her other courses, her healing and deliverances courses, the conferences and stuff like that.
That's what I
So
was gonna say. You know, Jennifer does things in such order
mm,
where she stresses. I don't remember whether it was this. I think it was this past mentorship at the beginning where she was talking about, you know, we can't say, you know, use her name and say that she's our mentor if we're not in the word like we're supposed to be. And so, you know, when you talk about healthy leadership, that's why I love her so much, is because the way she leads us is really definitely biblical and sound, because she encourages us to have a healing plan.
yeah.
You know, she encourages us to do what God is telling us to do so that we can be effective in the kingdom.
Yes. And I think that's the thing, is just being effective. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it's not just being a hearer. And that's what I love. And I mean, I've been around other mentorships, joined certain things that were really replay. It was not really, I mean, they weren't replays, they were pre-recorded.
Yeah.
I didn't really see a lot of connections from those who were hosting it. It was just here, watch this, and then leave
Right.
comments. Like
Right.
this, Jennifer's hands-on. Like she knows her people. And
Yeah.
she knows her people. And you would think like, oh, she don't see me. It's just little old me. No, she'll call you out by name. She's like, I see
Yes.
you.
Yes.
And it's so amazing because there's like 500 plus people. Actually, we're almost hitting 600 this
Yeah.
year, like 600. So it's amazing that like just I love her hard in that. Like she really knows her people and those who are joining in and stuff like that. And she's very hands in and hands on, especially when it comes in with the questions.
She is.
Like she's always replying back to all of them. So it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And for those ones who are joining this week, you guys already they're already in the private Facebook group. So that for the ones that are considering joining, I encourage you guys to really invest in yourself and really just take the risk. Take the
Mm-hmm.
risk. We got some amazing things actually happening tomorrow. Jennifer has her first live. Not only that, but there's also prophetic ministry that's going to take place tomorrow. So many prophetic words are going to be given out, especially for those who are tuning in. I'm excited about that. I received a message in regards to dream interpretation, so I know that's in the works soon within the group. There's going to be live dream interpretation, so I'm excited about that.
Yes.
Jennifer is very big on dreams, and usually a lot of people post. There's a place to submit your dreams within the group, and you know there's dream interpreters within the group too that are able to give interpretation. So, what would you say to encourage someone that is kind of, should I? I'm still on the fence of should I take this risk and joining? How would you encourage them to take that leap or that push?
Well, I would ask a question.
Mm.
How important is your spiritual walk? You know, how serious are you about growth? You know, I think these are really important questions to ask. And also, how serious are you about having a community of people around you to create that growth within you, and also being led by a sober leader that's serious about leading you to into what God has for you. Because what Jennifer does is she doesn't take it lightly that we're in the mentorship, and she also doesn't take it lightly that we're following her. You know, we're following her and we're receiving impartation from her, you know, to the point to where she has an intercessor team praying over the group. That's how serious she is about making sure that we're growing and that we're covered while we're growing. And so making, you know, don't even look at the financial side of it as a burden or something that you would be worried about. It's just another opportunity to work your faith, to see God do something awesome in your finances, because God is just as concerned about your growth as Jennifer is.
That's so good, Aeolian. I love that. All right. I appreciate you joining me today. It was definitely a good conversation. And I, you know what, bless you, because it was just like, sis, would you like to join me on a live? She said yes. It was just very spontaneous, but we did this thing. So I appreciate you for joining me today. And I appreciate all of you guys for joining us on the live too. And July 11th is tomorrow. Jennifer has her first teaching. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the first timers that are joining, right? It's going to be amazing. I'm so looking forward to that. All right. So I want to say thank you guys all for tuning in. If you guys are considering and you guys want to take that risk, go to jenniferyves.com. It's on the description and it's also on the link on the screen. We'll see you guys later. God bless you.
Bye-bye.